Regional planning. There are basically five types of planning: local planning, country planning, regional planning, national planning, and international planning. Concept of region. Region is considered differently by different researchers belonging to various disciplines. Geog is any portion of Earth's surface where physical conditions are homogeneous. Aranviki is a geographical area or areas which a given civilization standard of people seems to require for the fulfillment of its aspirations. Herbertson is a complex form of land, water, animal, plant, and man regarded in the spatial relationship as together, constituting a definite portion of Earth's surface. An Amadio is a set of location units homogeneous with respect to their values on a particular set of characteristics. Region is generally used to define areas separated not merely or exclusively by natural boundaries, but equally by political or administrative boundaries. Thus, a region can be defined as an area within which interaction is more than its interaction with other areas. Regional planning includes proposals for distribution of population, industries, transport facilities, rural services, etc. This helps in reshaping and controlling the development of the town. Needs and importance. This gives information regarding the economic functions to be performed, profitable utilization of resources at minimum expenses is done, and grants mutual control over the region, grants planned and harmonious development, reveals new town planning and building principles, and this serves as a link of cooperation and coordination between areas. Intra-regional planning is within regions and inter-regional planning is between regions. Intra-regional planning is planning within the region. In this, problems like population growth, urbanization lead to land use planning, regarded as intra-regional planning. Inter-regional planning is done between the regions. This is as a result of different malaise in certain regions. This leads to economic growth and social equality. Interregional planning aims and objectives. Full employment. Both employment and unemployment have a spatial dimension, and the eradication of such inequalities have been a major factor. Types of regions: homogeneous regions, formal regions, polarized or nodal or heterogeneous or functional regions, and planning regions. What is a homogeneous region? These are formal regions. These have homogeneity in topography, rainfall, climate, and other geophysical characters. Homogeneity in economy is also relevant in planning. Internal differences in a region are unimportant. Examples: the district of a state are different, but the remain is homogeneous region in administrative terms. Homogeneous problem is bound by entity. Polarized, nodal, or heterogeneous or functional regions. They look towards the center where the village is dependent. Uniformity is of least concern. A capital city may attract customers from several districts around the capital city. Nodes attract labor and settlement. Around a node a focal point in space revolve not only economic but political and cultural activities also. Planning regions. Planning region for different activities can be different. This depend upon the type of multi-level planning in the country. Small country one-level planning, while larger area multi-level planning. For comprehensive planning, there has to be a national plan, state plan, and district block plans. A planning region is large enough to enable substantial changes and yet small enough for its planning problems to be tackled effectively. A planning region. The hierarchy of planning regions should be national level. Then it should be macro level. Macro region can be a state of even a group of states if the states of a country are not big enough. It can be state level. It can be meso level. It can be identified with a division of a state. And micro level, multi-level planning, district is the micro region. First step in the preparation of any regional plan is to ensure tentative operational area of planning. Delineation of formal regions and delineation of functional regions has to be done. Delineation of formal regions. This involves grouping together of local units which have similar characteristics according to certain clearly defined criteria and which differ significantly from the units outside the region on the basis of certain chosen criteria. The criteria can be unemployment rates, activity rate, migration trends, per capita income, etc. Variables are land use, demographic, transport infrastructure, social service, and public utilities. Methods of delineation of formal regions. Weighted index methods first and factor analysis method. In weighted index method, the study area is divided into several localities according to unemployment rates and per capita income levels. Aim is to isolate the main problem region, that is the area of economic malaise. Weights are assigned to each criteria and when taken together and weighted, one of the region can be used. The factor analysis method. This is used for delineating economic health regions. Smith identified 14 industrial criteria on a local employment exchange area base and 14 socio-economic criteria on a local authority base. Many criteria are interdependent. This method used to isolate those factors and to group areas on the basis of factor loadings. Smith identified industrial change and industrial change as major industrial factors. Delineation of functional regions. This method involves the grouping together of units which display a considerable degree of interdependence. Two basic approaches are used: flow analysis based on actual observation of what people do, and gravity analysis based on theoretical observation of what they may do. Flow analysis method. This buildup flows on the basis of the direction and intensity flows between the dominant center and surrounding satellites. Flows may be of several types: economic, social, political, information, etc. The flows are plotted in matrix form from which primary and secondary flows into and out of the center can be identified. Gravitational method. Theoretical forces of attraction between centers rather than the actual force. The model assumes that interaction between two centers is directly proportional to mass of centers and inversely proportional to distance between them. Mass is represented by variables like population, employment, income, expenditure, and retail turnover. Distance is represented in physical terms: time, price, and opportunities. Gravitational analysis method involves calculating the potential for centers. Lines illustrating relative attractiveness, spheres of influence of various centers can be plotted on the map. From such lines, functional regions can be identified.